Here we go. So guys, a slightly different video today, and it's something I've wanted to say for a while, and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to put it out there. I kind of put it out there on Twitter last night, as you can see, but we need to take some accountability for something that's happened over the last couple of years. Now, this video isn't an advert for 2K. I'm going to be very vocal about the role that they've played in this as well, but really the responsibility, guys, lies with us about a huge change that we've seen in the culture and the community over the last 2 years. Which is us making sure we enjoy the game less. It's just what it is, guys. There's no other way to put it. So let's talk about this change. Let's go back to 2K20, right? 2K20 was a game we look back with like rose-tinted glasses. That it was an amazing time and everything else. Well, the game was bad. The game was really bad. In fact, the content was worse. Gameplay was worse. Pretty much everything about that game was worse than now. We didn't even have modes that we have now. It's like 3 modes: draft, limited, clutch time. Didn't even exist back then. So why do we look back on it so fondly? Now, this was a bad time in our lives. People say lockdown exploded, like, 2K, which it did, but it was also a time where most of us were kind of miserable. So why did 2K, when you look at the culture of it now, become like a safe haven for people back then and an amazing escape from what was going on in the world? Well, the reason was the community. What we were doing. Now, if you go back to 2K20, and content is a great way to kind of look at the community as a whole and what's important to us. If you go back to 2K20 and look at the content creators that were on fire, they had one thing in common, which is they all just played the game for fun. They didn't really take it too seriously. Whether it was content creators that were sniping or building silly squad builders, we were interested in just watching people play the game and having fun through them having fun, right? That's what we used to do. Now, the culture is different. Now, all we want to see is people be amazing at this game. And it's changed everything, guys. It's changed everything for the worst. Like, nothing positive has come from this scenario, right? So, I want to give you an example of my content. Like, right now, I have a video from 2K21, a tutorial that still gets 1,000 views a week. If I upload a fun squad builder of a tiny squad, it barely gets a view. That is the perfect example of where we are as a community and what we want to see. We just want to see people sweating, being really good, feel like we're really good, and that's really what this video is going to come down to. But there's a couple of other things, right? There's a couple of other things that we've done which has changed over the years. Like I said, before we used to play just to play. That's what we used to do. Now, I would like to ask you, what was the last time you loaded into a game mode and played that game mode not for a reward, right? That you loaded into TTO not to run the board and get the reward, or you loaded into limited not to get the ring. Like, you just loaded in one of those game modes just to play the game. When was the last time? So you see the problem? You see where this is going? Like, this is another part of the culture. There is 2 things now that we want from this game. We want to be amazing and we want to win every game, which is obviously going to cause us to enjoy the game less because it's unrealistic, and we're going to talk about that later. But we also just play the game for rewards now. When was the last time you played a game that wasn't for a reward? I do it all the time. I've got both rewards from Clutch Time. I've got Gilbert and Martine, and I still play. Why? Because I'm playing for fun. That's why. And that's the big change. Like I'm saying, this is what brought me back. I was done. How a lot of you feel right now is how I felt at the end of 2K21. I literally put a vlog out just saying I'm done. I can't play the game anymore because I was misguided. I was the problem, guys. That's why. And like I said, we are going to touch on the role 2K have played in this, and we will do that in a second. So, TTO, Clutch Time, Limited, they're no consequences modes, right? They are modes that you can load up, play a game, there's very little on the line. Yes, it can be frustrating if you run the TTO board multiple times, like I have, and not got the main reward, like I haven't, right? That can be frustrated. But if I've loaded in with 2 reasons. 1, I want to feel like I'm really good at this game, and 2, I want the reward. If I then lose a game and don't get the reward, it's causing irrational responses, guys, from our community. People are raging, like rage, because they lost a game of TTO. I literally had someone on PSN in my DMs the other day who literally lost a game of TTO to me and sent me a 20-page essay about on-balling, off-balling, and everything else. Who cares? It was a game of TTO. Because we've now set up our entire community just to be about being sweaty, being good at the game, The idea of losing a game can break some people. The idea of not getting a reward is literally breaking people. The problem is, guys, they loaded into those games with that mindset. They didn't load in just to play. They cared too much about wins and losses. They cared too much about rewards. It's a fact. So rewards need to be secondary. If you actually want to enjoy this game, you need to load into the game, play the game for fun, not really care about the outcome. I mean, of course, you're going to try and win the game, but you shouldn't be losing your mind if you lose it. Like, rewards need to be secondary, guys. It needs to be secondary to you playing the game. If the rewards are everything, you're going to be miserable until that moment you see the card. That's not sustainable fun, is it? It's just not. Right. So let's talk about how the culture has changed and what's triggered these things. Now, elite players have become, like comp players, high-level players, have become prominent in the community, which is a fantastic thing. It's a really good thing. It's not something I'm criticizing. Because when you've got the best players in the world talking from their perspective about the cards they would use and things like that, it's fascinating to me to watch. I am not that person, and I guarantee you 99.9% of you are also not that person. And this is the problem we've got. There are people who are so good at this game, and they have earned the right to say whatever they want, and it be facts and it be honest, because they've put hundreds of hours a week into being as good as they are to speak the truth when they talk about a card. It's lost on me, guys, as far as advice goes. Like, I'm never going to be as committed as they are to being as good as the game as they are. Like, it's never going to happen. And for the majority of you, it's the same case. You're never going to be that good at the game. So why are we pretending and acting like we are? Because we are doing that, guys. We're acting like we're the best players in the world. Just look at Twitter, look at content, look at the conversations. We're all experts now. That's where we are. We know everything. And we know exactly what cards to use. And we never lose a game, especially if you look at Twitter. I don't think anyone's ever lost a game. That is the problem. That's the culture we've created. We went from fun. Remember where this started. 2K20, us posting stupid videos and stupid clips about running terrible teams. Like I said, I ran a Season 1 squad at the end of 2K20 at endgame. Because it was a fun thing to do. You ain't going to see that now, guys. You're just not going to see it. It's content that doesn't exist. So, when we talk about elite players talking about elite cards and everything else, we have content creators who are not at that level doing the same thing. And it's creating another problem. It's creating a community that feels like they must have certain cards. There are responses to my tweet saying, I feel like these cards are unattainable. I can't get them. Like, why? Why do you want them? Why do you want them? Because a YouTuber put the number 1 on their list? That's why. You do not need that card, guys. I've spoken about this time and time again. I literally done a video recently saying that, you know, worse players need better cards. The truth is, worse players need badges to help them. That's it. You do not need Invincible Luka Doncic. That's not what you need. My point guard is 6'3", guys, with a 6'3" wingspan. I've said this 20 times in the last few videos for a reason. I'm having fun with that card. I'm having success with that card. I sold Luka to pick up that card. I could pick up Luka right now if I wanted to. I don't want to, guys. Go back to using the cards you want to use. And like, content creators are varied on this stuff, right? Some of them will talk about budget cards and their favorite cards, and that's great. But a lot of people, guys, they're just regurgitating the same stuff. You have to use these 3 or 4 cards or you're going to lose. You're not going to lose, guys. You might have lost with those cards. Use the cards you want to use. When was the last time? I'm guilty of this. I literally did a list. I did a point guard list last week. Top 10. And my favourite point guard in the game is Steph Curry. Because he's fun to use. And I have loads of success with that card. And I didn't put him at number 1. Why? Because I was afraid of judgment from the community that they were going to say, oh, but obviously Jordan and Luka are the best cards. When 9 out of 10 people that I play using Luka, use him because he takes bad shots. He's good at taking bad shots. Do you know how many times I've lost to Luka? I could count them on one hand, guys. Because I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to wander around and try and shoot fully contested shots at my face, and they don't have a plan B. So I followed them around with Giannis. That is a person who's watched content and gone, I have to have that card. If I don't have that card, I'm going to lose. And guys, it's the reason half these people lose. It's because they've got a squad they don't know how to use. And they feel slighted if they don't have the card. It's just crazy. It makes absolutely no sense. So run your favourite cards. Let's see a most fun 10-point guards list. In fact, I will do that this week for every position. The most fun cards to use in every position. Because that's where we are in the game, guys. If you don't care about rewards, like I said, if you're like not obsessed with winning and losing and putting this representation out of yourself, if you're the best player in the world, and every time you get a good animation in the game, uploading it, going, look, I can play the game, look how good I am. If you're not that person, just have fun with it. Use whatever cards you want. Like, I will tweet out, and guaranteed on most opinions that I have, like, one of two responses is going to come through on Twitter. One is get better at the game. No, I'm happy with how good I am at the game. Two, look how good I am at the game. That's my favourite response. Oh, I've got a 90% win record, a 95% win record. Dude, I could not care less. I'm having fun. Are you? Are you? Or is all your validation coming from other people's opinions on how you play this game? And you see it. You see people overcompensating. You see it in content. You see it on Twitter. You see it overcompensating. Oh, please don't think I'm bad at the game. No one cares, guys. No one cares. You shouldn't. The whole of Twitter has become a flex. Like, content has become like almost exclusive edits to show how good people are at the game. Have you seen this? Like, if I upload a video of best of 3, I'll literally show all 3 games, including the gaps in between the games, so you can see that I went from one game to the next and it's not fixed. Like, why are we so afraid to show something that didn't go our way? Like, this is the problem, guys. Our expectations of this game, what we want out of it. I've got the best card, so I should win every game. You know, I'm really good at this game, so I should win every game. I deserve every reward, so I should get every reward. Do you think that that's a mindset that's going to result in anything positive? No, guys. That is a no-win situation for you and for 2K. People playing this game with that mindset, I have to win every game. What if you lose, which is going to happen because you're delusional if you think you're going to win every game, you're going to be pissed off. If you feel like you're owed the reward, and that's the only reason you've decided to play that game mode today, and you don't get the reward, you're going to be pissed off. This is like basic common sense, guys. Like, if you're loading in just for those specific outcomes, it takes one thing not to go your way, and you hate the game. Now, for me, I'm at a point now where I only play game modes I enjoy. That's it. Let me put this in perspective. Unlimited, I've done every season this season apart from the first season. So we have all the unlimited rewards. You know what? I don't feel like playing it this season. Honestly, this point in the year, it becomes unenjoyable. And again, I am going to touch on what 2K have done to make this worse. I am going to touch on that. This is part of it. But unlimited just doesn't look fun to me this season. Like, that doesn't feel like a mode I can go in and have fun this season. Like, I've run crazy cards and crazy lineups all year. I feel like I can't do that this season. So I'm not going to go for the unlimited reward this season. I might play unlimited, and if I get the reward, great. But I'm going to play it just for the sake of playing it. I'm not going to play in, like, go in and go, right, oh my god, I lost the game, it's the end of the world. Or I might not get Michael Finley, I suck at the game. I don't care, guys. Most people are completing unlimited these days just to put a tweet out saying they completed it. No one's even using Finley. I mean, come on. Like, that's where we are now. That's where we are. But I do need to touch on the 2K stuff, and I will, believe me. Right. Then we talk about the things that people are really complaining about. Oh, but how can you have fun when the community's so toxic? Everyone's running full court press. Everyone's doing this. Yeah, it's because we've been conditioned to do that for 2 years, guys, because of a decision we made. 90% of the people complaining about people full court pressing and all of this, I don't do it. I guarantee you 90% of the people complaining are doing it. You're using exactly the same exploits and tactics that sweaty players use because winning means everything to you. That's why you do it. It's why I don't do it. I would rather just play, and if I win, I win, I lose, I lose. That's where I am. But I don't want to use, like, toxic exploits to make the game less fun for my opponent. If they do it to me, I might do it back to them. But I'm never going to start off that way, alright? That's where I am. So yeah, if you're doing the same things, don't complain when other people do it. So, this whole thing just comes around like full circle, right? We go back to 2K20. It was fun. The community was fun. It was about having fun. Now, it's just about two things. How good do people think I am at this game? And I want all the rewards. Guys, the rewards are virtual cards that will mean nothing in probably 2 weeks. They really don't mean anything. So if you're putting stock in that, forget about it. It's not important. If you're playing 500 games to get an RNG reward, guys, don't play 500 games to get the RNG reward. That's the solution. Like, don't do it. Why? Why? At this point in June, what is there to play for? What do you need that card for? Nothing. Start having fun with the game. Use lineups you want. Forget the meta. Throw it out the window. I did it and I'm having more fun. That's why I'm telling you this. I hope that we can get to a point where we can change our mindset back slightly. This whole culture is what's driven a lot of those original 2K20 content creators away. And there are, like I said, content creators out there right now doing, great things, talking about great budget cards and options. There is a fair spread. The blame lies with the community. We have decided the only things that matter to us are winning, being perceived to be really good at this game, whether it's real or fake, doesn't matter apparently. We just want people to think we're good at the game. And getting every reward. Why have we got to that point? Guys, next time you load up 2K, load up for fun. Go and play the game mode that you want to play and just play it for fun. Forget about the rewards, forget about wins and losses, and I guarantee you'll start enjoying this game. I guarantee it. It's a change I made and it's changed everything for me. I hope it changes things for you as well. I hope that, when we go into 2K23, we can be at a point where I can make a funny squad builder and people actually want to see it. They don't want to just see a tutorial so they can sweat a little bit harder on the game. I hope that's where we get to. Now I'm going to talk about 2K and their accountability, because this is not an advert for 2K. 2K have done two things that have made this way, way worse. The first thing, and the reason I say this started on 2K21, the first day of 2K21 is where the shift started, was win ratios. 2K take them out of the game. This has become the ultimate flex. Like, this has just driven the toxic side of the community, and it's driving your player base away. Like, it is driving player bases away because people obsess about that stuff. Like, they obsess about it. I'm not making this up. People don't act like they do. When was the last time you saw someone post a bad win ratio? No. They only post clips when there's a good win ratio in there. Take it out. It's making everything way more toxic than it needs to be. And you're encouraging this mentality by leaving them in. And the second thing that has to go, it has to go, is SBMM in Unlimited. It has to go. Like, if 2K23 comes out, win ratios are still there, and SBMM is still there, I cannot explain to you how disappointed I will be with that company. Like, that would be tone deaf. Literally tone deaf. Outside of those two things, you can have as much fun as you want to have on this game. But it is a choice, and it is a mindset. Why are you playing the game? If you don't enjoy playing this game at all, stop playing it, guys. There's plenty of other games. Yes, it's the only basketball game, but you shouldn't be doing anything that you don't want to do. Stop playing it if it makes you miserable. I did for a bit, and I came back to it, and I'm in a different place right now. So why am I making this video, guys? I'm having just way more fun with the game, and I know there's people out there that aren't, and this really is a mindset thing. Is 2K a perfect game? No. Can you have a blast playing this game? Yeah, guys, you can. It really comes down to what's important to you. If you want to seem cool in front of your friends like this is high school, you're not going to enjoy this game. You won't enjoy it. You can't. Not exclusively. But if you're here just to have fun and just to be there for the moment and play for the sake of playing, you can have a lot of fun on this game. Right. Final thing. Podcast. It's coming back. We're doing one before the end of this cycle. So before 2K23. And then next year we're doing one every single week for the whole year. Unless I've got other commitments. But that is the plan at the moment. We have a new lineup of hosts. We have some people you recognise, and we have some new people as well. I'm really excited about it, guys. It's probably the biggest thing I could have said in a video this year. I cannot wait to bring it back, and it's going to be a whole new format, but that's for another video. But if you enjoyed the podcast, it's coming back. Guys, that's the whole video. I hope it landed. Next time you go into 2K, load up for fun. Use whatever players you want to play. And just actually focus on having fun rather than the outcomes. That's the video, guys. Thanks for watching.